Hello friends, you're with a lonesome gamer and I'm playing 1854. Now we've done the first two ORs and we're back in a stock round. I forgot one thing, it's kind of special to this game. At the end of an operating round you have the option. Every company once per game has the option to invest in a mail contract. Now there are not the minor companies, only the major companies can do that. So there are two types of mail contracts. This is the good one. The more expensive one, you get 200 bucks. That's what you have to pay if you want to buy that. But then, depending on the phase of the game, you get between 30 and 60 bucks at the start of every operating round. This one here is a little less expensive. It only costs 100 and it gives you between 10 and 40 bucks. So that is something I wanted to do, and or I wanted to buy for these major companies. I wanted to buy that thing and I forgot. So I bought it basically at the end of the first operating round, and then I paid every company once the income, the one of the second operating round. They bought a golden one. These were the ones that floated at 82, and they didn't have any additional expenditures. The others only bought a silver one for 100 bucks. They don't have a lot of money, and if they want to buy a 3 train, for example, I think they cannot afford to buy one of these more expensive ones. The reason is they had to invest in a token, they had to invest in a tunnel, and I think there was also terrain cost here. So they had to spend a ton of money, and they also started a little lower than the other one. So therefore, yeah, I couldn't really afford that. I didn't want to afford it. Now you can do it only once per game, and you're not allowed to get rid of them. You're not allowed to trade them away. You're not allowed to upgrade them. So once you did it, it stays with you for the rest of the game. So this guy holds priority. He has now the option to start something, and he clearly wants to do that. It's a little painful. I would like to keep the 20% share of the Südbahn. It gives me a good income. And the other one isn't that bad either. But I'm sitting here on 118 bucks. I got the most money. But I have the least shares. So I want to do something with that money. Otherwise I cannot, well, increase my cash advantage. And that's a bad thing. But there is nothing left to buy, right? There's the Südbahn and the Vorarlberger Bahn. They're sold out. So yeah, I gotta find something else to buy. Now let's see what's interesting here. I've already said that the SB, the Salzburger Bahn, that is a good company, especially at the start, because you can, within 2 ORs, you can make a connection between the Brenner and Munich. Now that is pretty expensive. You got to lay 2 of these tunnel tokens, but still, you know, it makes you a good amount of money, and therefore that is clearly an interesting option. The other one is, well, I could try something down here, make a connection here, but that isn't terribly good, I think. Wien is always a good idea, I guess. could make a connection here to Prague maybe, or I don't know. It's hard to tell. I guess I might roll a die here. Well, honestly, I really don't know where to start. The NT seems to make sense, the SB, and maybe also the KE. So I'm considering one of these three. I'm rolling a die, equal odds. So let's see what we get. Okay, that's a 1, that's a 2, so we start the first one here. 1 or 2, 3 or 4, 5 or 6. So we're starting the NT, and the idea is to connect very soon to the Brenner, and then we'll see that we maybe can somehow make a connection here to the east. Maybe we don't make quite that much money really in the first run, but I think with the second run we'll be doing okay, and it's not quite as expensive as if we lay the 2 tunnels here, for example, and we'll see about that. Okay, so the guy started the Nordtiroler Staatsbahn at 72. He started it a little, he had a lot of money, but he's a little bit of an aggressive player. So he started it fairly low so that he will be able to buy 60%. I don't know if I mentioned it, but as long as you are below this red line here, you are allowed to hold 100% of a company. Just beyond that red line, the standard 60% limit kicks in. So, and these 2 players here, they purchased a 10% share and an option to buy the other 10%. And these were basically the shares that were sold by this guy, because everything was sold out. So he then decided to sell his shares, start this, and then one of these guys purchased 10%, and the other one of these guys purchased the other 10%. Oh, well, it should be a 10% share. Okay, and now this guy again, he had about 120 or 130 left, but there was nothing left to buy except for the one that would not operate in the next turn. So he said to himself, okay, I might as well now start my own company. So he sold the stuff here, and now he has the option to start a company for 72. He's not going to be able to buy 60% of this guy, but he can buy 50%, which will be enough to float the company. So the only question is, where do we invest? Now, I might consider Salzburg. Again, probably the ones that I thought about earlier on. The cool thing is I have here, I have the Murtalbahn. Now that in itself isn't that great. It would be this one. I could lay a tile here for free, and I can reduce the cost for the tunnel by 40. Kind of interesting. I might even consider starting something here in Klagenfurt and go this direction here. It's not impossible for me, but I think Salzburg is more interesting. So I'm going to go either for Salzburg or for Wien, and yeah, probably not for Klagenfurt. I guess I'm going to, yeah, I have to tell. Nah, not for Klagenfurt. I think let's grab this one here. So on a 1 to 4, we start Salzburg. 5 to 8, we go for Wien. And on a 9, we go for Klagenfurt. And on a 10, we re-roll. Okay, so that's a 1. So we start the 1 here. The SB, the Salzburger Bahn, for 72. Okay, I had to rearrange things. This game has a massive footprint, so the tiles are now all over there, and it's really crazy. All the companies, they have these large sheets, all these minor companies, and then the 2 boards and all. So there's, yeah, that's a little bit of an issue here, but okay, it's fine. So, we're ready to start the next operating round, and we have now 2 more companies. But of course, first we start again with the miners. So company 1, they don't have the $50 yet. So all they can do right now is they can run for 30. And therefore 15 for the owner, and I forgot the privates or the mountain railroads, so I gotta pay them too. Okay. So now next turn they got $50. That would be enough to lay the connection here, but maybe the other guy can do it. So we have 10 here for the mountain railroad, and these, and 5, and another 15 down there for this one. Okay, so let's see. Company number 2, they're also short. They can also not afford to do this, so they also run only for $30. So it's 15. And another 15. What about number 3? Let's see. Yeah, same thing. $30. Number 4, also $30. Okay, so nothing exciting happened here. Nobody had the resources to build here. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, the funny thing is this guy could have done it. No, that's for the tunnel. No, that doesn't help him. I mean, technically, you can even build a tunnel here, but he didn't have the money. But I remember this guy here, the 2, he has the -20, but he didn't have enough either. So, yeah. Okay. And so now we go to the major companies, and the Nordtiroler starts in Innsbruck. So there we go, and which way do we want to go? I guess we definitely want to go towards the Brenner, because that gives us the most money. And then maybe move toward Landeck, but that's only a dot. But if we lay a tunnel here, and then we go here, we might make it here. Maybe that's worth it. We'll see. So I think this is basically my idea. So I'm going to place a tile like this. And then I'm done here. Oh, I get 720, of course. Totally forgot about that. And that means that I can now buy, and this guy also gets the same amount, 720. Now I'm considering also buying a mail contract. So first we need trains, and now the thing is I can only run a single train next turn. So I'm actually only going to buy 1 train. I don't necessarily want that 2 train, that second 2 train. If I can get a 3 train, which might be more useful, it could bring me to Zurich. If I place a tunnel here, the 3 train would bring me to Zurich. That would be definitely better than a 2 train, I guess. So I'm going to buy only a single 2 train. Technically, I don't need a train at all because I don't have a route yet. but I want one because I want to run next turn. So I'm going to invest the $100 for the train. And now the question is, what type of mail contract do I want? Well, I definitely need $200 for a 3 train and about another $200. So I need about $400 to build that starting route. So it could be enough to go with a golden one. I have the money to do it. $300. Pretty much have the money to buy me a golden mail contract. Is it worth it? You know, I think it probably is. So I'm gonna roll a die, and on a 1 to 4 I'm gonna take the golden one. Otherwise I'm gonna take the other one. Okay, I only go for the silver one for $100. Might not be the best decision, but I like some randomness when I play solitaire. So these are the things that then eventually change the game a little bit. Okay, cool. So we fall back, obviously, and now it's a funny thing if you, oh, actually these are sold out. No, they're not sold out. They're still here. It's a funny thing that the guy now, he purchased an option here, and now it's less expensive. So he probably, yeah, he will lose some money there. So it's the VB now, the Vorarlberger, and they're sitting down here. Yeah, same thing. They cannot lay track or something, so they simply run for 40 and 30. So they run for $70, the same as before. Before they do so, they're gonna get the $30 of their mail contract, which pays out at the start of a company's round. And then they got to spend $70. By the way, shares in the bank pool do not pay out in this turn. So the only way to get new money is either this contract here, or by simply swallowing. Or of course from the split shares. When they are bought, the money goes into the company. And I was wrong about this, that he's going to have a disadvantage. This thing will rise to 78, and he can then buy the option for 77, so he's going to be happy about that. Next is the new one, the Salzburger. And yeah, this is kind of an interesting position now. He can no longer run. So the basic idea of him was to say, okay, I'm going to do it like this. And I still will do that because I think it's not bad to do it. And then I'm going to build a tunnel here. And I got a discount here of $40, so I'm going to flip the card now, and so the symbol is gone. And I'm going to pay only $60 for this tunnel. No, yeah, $60. So there we go. And so we're going to place it like this. And no tile can be laid there because it's one of these gray areas. So next time we're going to have a connection to Brenner. Now it would be perfect to run 2 trains, one like this, one like that. But it would be great to run two trains. Now there's only one 2 train available. So Kind of sucks. Still, I think I'm gonna buy them both. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I don't want to only buy the 2 train, right? That is also a bad idea, I guess. So therefore, yeah, I'm gonna go and buy both trains, although I cannot quite run them. So I gotta spend 300 bucks for that. And what about the mail contract? Oh boy, I'm pretty much out of money if I do that. I cannot afford to do this. So I'm only gonna buy a cheap mail contract. So that means I'm gonna spend 400 bucks all over. That's a lot of money. And it gives me this 100-buck mail contract here. Okay, and this is it. It's the end of my turn. And now we're in green. So let's see what that means. So phase 3. And this sheet is not quite right. The numbers of trains available, they are wrong here. And there are a couple of these little details that are not quite correct, either on the sheet or in the rule book. And but okay, so we have now the green tiles available, type 2 plus trains are available, and once they are purchased, also the type 3 plus trains are available, no matter what train type is purchased of the standard trains. And the trains may be traded between companies, green value is used, and we have now 2 operating rounds from the next stock round. So basically no big surprises here. I already told you that it's not possible to sell your privates into the major companies. I think they will simply disappear with the 5 train. Yeah, the mountain railroads are closed. There we can see that. Okay. By the way, it's kind of interesting. We have a very, very small share limit at that point, or a certificate limit, only of 8. Now, if you think about this, these minus count as 1, so it's 1, 2, 3 for the mountain railroad, 4, 5, 6. So this guy can only buy 2 additional certificates at that point of the game. That's pretty crazy. But that will change when more and more companies cross that threshold. Then we get this share split, and then the share limit will also increase. But still, it's not a big one, you know. In some games you can buy shares like crazy. This is not so much the case here. Okay, so the Salzburger is done, and now we get to the Südbahn. And yeah, because we're in green now, we have now the option to do an upgrade. And I want to upgrade this yellow tile. I can upgrade this tile to a green city. And I want to do that. And that will increase my profits massively. And then we can upgrade Vienna, and we're going to do really good there. That's a very lucrative company, especially at the start, but in generally they're really doing well. So now we're going for 70 here and another 30 down here. So that's 100. That's 130 bucks. That's really, really good. Okay, so again, that's the end of the OR, and we go into the next stock round. So that means, I think, yeah. Okay, so what's the situation? Let's see. I got lots of big stacks of money here, but it's not that much. Might be enough to buy the option, but I'm not so sure about that. That's not 72 bucks. No, he cannot even buy his option here. And yeah, no, not a lot of money there. I don't know. Maybe someone is willing to trade in one of his shares to buy that Südbahn share here, which now makes a good amount of money. He might even sell his 20% share. I don't know. I mean, there is it's a 500 bucks in there, so I don't know if he wants to risk to lose control here. Probably not. So yeah, actually, you know, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to sell 20% of my own company. I know it's questionable to do that, but the Südbahn is so much better. So therefore, I'm going to invest in this instead. Now, it is in theory possible for other players to steal the Nordtiroler, but probably for the price to lose one of their own companies. I don't think that anybody wants to get rid of the Südbahn at that point. And same thing with the Vorarlberger. It's not a bad company. There are 400 bucks in there, the big mail contract. So I really don't think that this is a risk here. So therefore, I'm going to sell that one. Of course, that brings my own share value down, which isn't great. But I'm going to making really a lot of money holding the Südbahn shares. At least that's what I hope. And so therefore, that's 138. And I have to spend 140. So I just have to spend 2 more bucks. And I'm okay. Okay, great. Now these guys here, I think they simply buy the option for the Südbahn for 72 bucks. And here, yeah, I guess he simply takes the option for the Vorarlberger for, that was 77. So they were not operating twice, they were only operating once. Yeah, because in this, yeah, no. Okay, fine. So for 77. Okay. And that's fine. I get back 23. There we go. And now how much money do I have left here? 25. 53. That's not enough for any other company or for any other share. That's a shame. Kind of close, but I can't afford it. This guy up here, now he doesn't have the money to buy the option. So that's it. Let's go into the next operating round. And now we have our first set of 2 operating rounds. Company number 1, they will upgrade St. Pölten. Yeah, they would probably do that. So there we go. And that gives them now the option to run through this. So they get now 50 bucks. It's not great, but you know, they can start here at the dot, take the city, and then take this other dot here, or this one, doesn't matter. And that's it then. And they also have they only have a 1+ train, so they cannot hit another city or something. So they're making 50 bucks, so it's 25. Okay, so I mean, I wonder if they can afford a new train. Well, they can't. However, they might consider in the next, when the 4 train, when it's the 4 trains run, or after the 4 has operated, they might consider buying this train down. But the problem is, that the 4 is actually a company who needs a 2 train, while the 1 can make good use of the 1 trains. They can hit St. Pölten with 2 trains, right, and make solid money there. But the 4, they cannot really use the 2 1 trains. So the thing is, usually you want to buy the train down, because then it can run in this turn. So it would have been fine to say, okay, I buy this 1 train now down, and I bring the money here, and then I probably can afford a 2 plus train. It's 120. Let's see, this is 50, 60, 70, 75. That's 100. Yeah, there's easily 120 in there. So that would have been an option, but it seems I have to do it the other way around, which means I cannot run this train this turn, which kind of sucks. You know, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to buy this train up. It's a bad company either way. I'm going to keep $5 in there, and that should be good enough now too. So that is 75, 100. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. And so that was the 1. Now we come to the 2, and they now have, they still don't have the money to lay this tile here. They could now say, hey, I'm gonna take this, and I think I might actually want to do that. I really want to lay that tile. It gives me basically, well, not necessarily, that's kind of interesting. I can hit, well, I could hit 3 doinkers if I place this, but otherwise I could hit 2. The thing is, I also help the other guy, so no, that's actually not true. I could run from here like this. Yeah, I think I want to do that. So I'm going to use this discount here from my company. It's a -20 for the mountains, and then I only have to pay $30, and that's something I can afford. And now I'm going to place a tile here. Okay, so the guy laid this tile here, which allows him to run like this, which is pretty good, and eventually he might even be allowed to go down here. Just have to lay this token here. That's a lot of money, but it might be worth it. So let's see. This is company number 2, so they run now for 30 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is $70. That is really not bad. So it's, is that true? Yeah, $70. So it's 35 for the company and 35 for the owner. And again, I forgot the miners. So the 4 did this upgrade here, and now they're gonna buy a 2 plus train for $120, and they already paid. So they couldn't run this turn, but they have now a better train. It's still not that great. I mean, they can now, at least they can now connect these 2 cities here and take that dot. So it's $70, which isn't bad. And maybe they can also make a connection in here and grab this dot or something. I'm not totally sure how this will work out, but there's still hope for 4. Okay, company 5 is still pretty low in cash. They might also consider to shuffle trains. Let's see, right now there's nothing they can do. They simply run for 30 now, because also here the value rises a little bit. a little bit, so they go for 30. And now the thing is, I don't have enough money in my companies to be able to buy a 2-train, and I could also not really use that thing. I need to make a connection. I need these 80 bucks here, and I just don't have them. So it seems like I have to shuffle trains to be able to make that connection, but that sucks. So maybe I just keep running and hope, and then next turn I don't know. I don't have the 80 bucks, man. That sucks so hard. Now here I have 50. Well, I run for 40 here. So it takes me 2 more hours until I can make the connection. This is really not good. But I guess I have to accept that. I don't really see any other options right now. I mean, what would be possible is trying to make a connection here and then somehow go in there. So maybe I should try to do that. I guess that can't, probably can't hurt. Should I do this? I don't know. But then one of the guys is really cut off. Or maybe not. I can only also go like this. You know, I think maybe that is... I don't know. It really seems to me to make this work, I have to use my major company and buy one of these trains over and give them some money so they can afford a train and they can afford the all these shitty terrain costs. It's just too expensive right now. So I guess I probably have to go in that direction. Anyway, I'm not going to spend any money. I'm not going to do anything over there. I'm just going to run the train for 40 bucks and that's it. I should have bought a 3-train with the VB. I see that now. Well, although I think I didn't have the chance to do it. Yeah, it wasn't unlocked last time. So now I'm gonna do it next time. For now I'm gonna run 2 trains, and next time I can then run, probably if I upgrade this to Zurich twice and then to Augsburg or something. So that's not bad. So therefore, right now I'm gonna run for, this is gonna be 60 and 50, so that is 110, which isn't bad. Südbahn upgraded Wien. They ran for 15. One train like this, the other one here. And that makes sense. That's 80. No, for 14. They ran for 14. So the idea for them is now to come up with something like this, I guess, and place a token here, and then they can hit Wien twice and go there. For that they're gonna need a 3-train, and they want that because the Vorarlberger, didn't they purchase a train? I'm confused. I wanted to do it. Did I simply Yeah, I simply forgot to do it. I had to do it with these guys for 200 bucks. They wanted to buy a train, of course, and yeah, because I can run now 3 and now these guys do the same for 200 bucks. They also buy one of the 3 trains. I think it's a good thing to have 1 3-train. I like that. 2 2-trains, 1 3-train. You know, in this way, when the 2 trains rust, you still have a train, but you didn't spend too much on the early trains. So this is a pattern I like to play with. But we got to be honest, there's not that much money left in here. However, eventually we're going to cross that threshold here. But, oh, look at that. I forgot. These guys are sold out, so they should be here. I forgot about that. Okay. So then it's the SB. So the SB did an upgrade here, and then they laid a second tunnel here. So they invested a lot of money. They only have about 150 left. But okay, they can now run 2 trains for a good amount of money. This is 60 here, and that is 70 here. So now in their second operating round, with their first run basically, they already make 130 bucks. That is not that bad. So the NT can run for 60 here. They laid a tile here. They're going to buy also another train, because next turn they can hook up with these guys here by laying a tunnel here and then placing a token there, I guess. It's going to be pretty expensive, but yeah, it's really going to be super expensive. We're talking over 200 bucks there. Oh boy, is that really something I want to do? That's a tough choice. That's a lot of money. I'm not sure if I want to do that. I have 500 bucks left in here. So if I want to buy a train, and I wanted to help these guys too, so I don't know if I can afford to do that. But it seems, yeah. Well, I don't know. I probably have to, I don't know what to do here. This is so expensive. Yeah, but I don't have any privates that help here. So it seems I don't know what to do. I really don't know if I'm going to do that or not. We'll see then. First, I think I need a second train. I mean, it's just not really such a great idea not to do that. I think I didn't pay me, or I'm pretty sure I didn't pay me the 20 bucks. And now I want to buy one of these trains here. Let me see. I want to make a connection here somehow. I want to replace these 80 bucks. Now this one is the one who is doing even poorer, but there, let's see. I really got the impression that these two companies, they just don't go well together. These are really poor companies. And I'm just thinking about, you know, maybe the six could run a one train pretty cool like this. That would be awesome. But until these two tiles are placed, the one train will not run anymore. And as a true train, this thing isn't that great. I mean, it's not that bad either. So maybe I should try to get a 2 train into the 6. Might consider doing that. If I buy, and maybe that's what I want to do. That's 10, 20, 30. Yeah, you know, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy the 1 train over, and I'm going to give the 6 the money for 2 train, which is 120. And they have sitting here 50, 60, 70. So I think I'm going to buy that for 100 and... You know, should I even go a little higher? Maybe I should... No, I think I'm going to go with 100 and... I think I'm going to go with 150. It's not the best decision, but I'm really not sure what I want to do otherwise. It's I Okay, there we go. So there's now some money in here. I gotta buy back this train. I cannot use that. I gotta buy it back. I just do this to bring some money into the companies, and I hope eventually it helps. So we'll see. And then we got, now considering buying a second train for the NT, some standard train, but I guess I have to. Wow, this terrain here is so extremely expensive. I'm not even sure if I want to do it. You know, problem is if I don't, I'm also screwed. So basically I have to do it. So I'm gonna buy a train. Otherwise this company will not make any money at all. So I'm kind of forced to do it. And yeah, I'm not in a good position. This, you can clearly see that it looks like the player who started the first companies, they are already doing better. They have definitely an advantage, at least for now. Okay, so, and I paid out, and did I? Yeah, of course I did. I ran for 60 bucks, but I didn't pay out yet. I have to give the guy his money, and that's it. And that's the end of this operating round. And I'm gonna load this up now, and so yeah, hope to see you on the next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.